This next clip you're going to see is part of a full podcast. Check the link in the description for the full podcast. Enjoy the video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the PL pod on Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. Before we get into this segment, the final time I'm going to remind you, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn your notifications on, make sure you like the video, and make sure you go and comment down below. What have you thought of the show so far? Is there anything you've disagreed on? How do you think Everton are going to do? And are you going to disagree with any of these transfer ratings? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, transfer ratings. The first player we have to talk about is Maxwell Cornet. Obviously, Cornet is Ivorian. He's 25 and he's moved from Burnley to West Ham for a reported fee of £18.6 million, according to Transfer Market, which is where I've taken all of these fees from. Javier, what rating would you give to Cornet?
I'd give it a 10.
What was that, sorry?
An 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Sorry, we do realise there's some issues with Javier's mic. So yes, we did not hear that originally. An 8 out of 10. Okay, fair enough. Any explanation behind that?
Well, I don't know where he'll play. Either he'll play on the wing or up front. But I'm assuming he won't play up front because they've just got. Could
he play left back?
Please, God, he could play left back. Because he did even play there. Leon?
He did, yeah.
Leon.
Yeah.
Who's the left back? Is it Cresswell?
Cresswell.
I think it's Cresswell. I could say, to be fair, he's just brought in as a versatile player.
Yeah, I see that.
Let's say you've got West Ham in conference this year.
Yep. So it helps with that.
Exactly. Yeah, you can play Cornet some games, but you can play Cresswell, then you can even rotate the forwards.
Yeah. So it's a good rotation option.
Yes. And
you've gone for an 8 out of 10?
Yes.
Okay. Personally, I'm not giving it that high. I think I'll give it a 6.5. Why
so low?
Personally, I don't think that's that low. If it was low, I'd give it like a 3.
Fair enough.
He's good. 18.6 million for a rotation option isn't bad. I just don't know where exactly he's going to play, and sometimes that doesn't work out for players if they're not sure where they're going to play and they're moving around a lot. I think he's a good player, good age, got resale value if it doesn't work. It's not the worst decision in the world. I'm just not overly happy.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I'll give that a 6.5 out of 10. Not Maxwell Cornet, sorry. Levi Colwill. He's obviously English, 19 years old. He's moved from Chelsea to Brighton on a loan move. How do you rate this one?
I'd say I want to say it in terms of the way it worked for Chelsea, but at the same time, it's not how it works, because it worked well for Chelsea because then it meant that they could get Cucurella in. But in terms of Brighton, I think they went for the wrong player. I think they could have gone for someone like Hudson-Odoi or something.
Okay.
Because you've got Lewis Dunk, you've got to be fair, Webster's not great. You've got Veltman, who's been consistent. Well, was consistent last year.
Yep.
You've got Dunk's obviously a good one. Webster's, I don't know about Webster. I don't know who else they have at centre back. Maybe
they've let Duffy go on loan to Fulham.
Okay.
So I presume it's the replacement there.
That's fair enough then.
How much are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it then a 7 out of 10.
I'm giving it higher. I'm giving it 9. It's a loan move. If it doesn't work out, he goes back to Chelsea at the end of the year.
Yes, if it does work well, then what?
He goes back to Chelsea at the end of the year. You've got a good player for a year.
That's true.
Yes, long term it possibly isn't great, but still, if that's the kind of player that maybe pushes them, an extra position up the league, that's an extra 2 mil into the back balance for next year. So
I didn't think about that actually.
It might just help improve their position. It's short term, it's a very good sign. Long term, obviously not. However, it secures them if it doesn't go well. So I don't think it's the worst thing. First season in the Prem as well, so obviously that helps Chelsea. 9 out of 10 personally. Good full parties. Next one, a man that I have a feeling you might be a little bit salty with, which is Cucurella.
Why salty?
Because fantasy.
Oh.
Because you put him in your fantasy team and you got 0 points.
Yeah.
Cucurella though, Spanish, 24, moved from Brighton to Chelsea after only moving to Brighton last summer for around £18 million, I do believe. He's moved from Brighton to Chelsea for £58.7 million. For a player that doesn't guarantee to start week in, week out, because left back they've got Chilwell, centre back they've got an array of options, that's a lot of money.
That's a 5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
However, if Koulibaly or just say if one of the centre backs pick up an injury, or Chilwell gets another injury, you've got Cucurella who could play left centre back, and you've also got a left wing back for if Chilwell. I think the fee's a lot, but I think he's good. However, will he prove to be someone who's a 58 million player? Probably not.
Yeah. Okay, so
and
5 out of 10.
I think he won't be given the opportunity to prove that.
Fair enough. So you've gone for 5.
Yes, maybe lower.
I'm going to agree on 5. I think it's a lot of money, but I do think he's a good player.
For a backup, they could have done so much.
Exactly, yeah, I know. It's a lot of money for a backup, and I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still a good player.
Yes.
So, 58.7, that's a lot of money. But, yeah, it's a lot. He's a good player, but it's for a backup, and you don't need that. You don't need that quality of player for a backup. You don't need.
No, you could. Who else could they have got? Mate,
you put me on the spot. They could have got Cornet.
That's a true point, to be fair. Seeing as though they've also just lost Werner, they've lost another striker. Now I don't have a clue who plays up front.
Brozier?
Who plays up front?
Havertz as a false 9? Sterling as a false 9?
I'll keep on forgetting they have Sterling. Even though I've literally slandered him because he goes down to the floor so easy.
Yeah, alright. Fair enough. So we've both agreed on 5 out of 10 for Cucurella then. Kasper Schmeichel. Obviously Danish, 35 years old, has moved from my beloved Leicester to Nice for 900,000. He had 1 year left in his deal. What are your thoughts on this one for Nice?
I'd say a 6 because for 900,000 you've got a keeper who will give you a solid 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. He will. I don't know where Nice finish each year, but they've got a decent little squad. I think they've got.
Yeah, they're in Europa League.
Attal. Who have they got? Attal. They've got.
Dolberg. Is Dolberg still there?
Yeah, Dolberg. I don't know who else, but they seem to have. I mean, if they're in Europa League,
they'll have a decent squad. Yeah. They've got Ramsey, haven't they?
Oh yeah, he scored with his first touch or something. I don't know.
Impossible.
He was first touch.
So it's a decent move.
Yeah. What
are you giving it out of 10?
Oh, I think I said like a 7.
Did you say 7? Okay, fair enough. I must have missed that. I'll give him 7.5. Solid keeper. Was time for Leicester to? Was it time for Leicester? I would have taken him for another year, but if he wanted to go, it was time for Leicester to move on.
Yeah.
Because it's a fair one. The next one, Chukwuemeka. Carney Chukwuemeka is English, is 18 years old. He's moved from Aston Villa to Chelsea for £16.2 million. I'm going to go out there now. I think this is stupid from Chelsea. I don't think he's worth that much money. Villa fans were saying there's better players in their academy. I'm giving it like a 4.
I think I'd say that as well because a year left of the contract. He's 18 years old. You could have you have all the negotiating power in that thing. Mm-hmm. You have to try and bring that down to at least single digits.
Yeah.
Not double digits.
Mm-hmm. I agree fully. It's not a good deal.
Especially for someone who's not going to be playing that much football this year.
As I say, fully agree. I'm not a fan of it at all. Not a fan of it at all.
Well, I think he's sorry.
No, keep going.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a good player. The next 3 years he'll be gone.
Next 3 years he'll be gone.
Permanently.
Okay. Interesting. So 4 out of 10 you've said then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Again, I do apologise for Javir's might keep cutting out. I do apologise. The next one, Bernd Leno. German, 30 years old. He's moved from Arsenal to Fulham for an initial £3.2 million.
Solid.
Bargain.
Absolutely solid.
Bargain.
Now that could be a 9.5 for me.
9.5. Wow. Okay.
You've got a keeper who gave, what was it? It was a good 6. It was 6 years. It was about
couple of years for Arsenal.
Three, 4 years.
A few.
Yeah. He was he possibly could have been him and Aubameyang. That one season, I think it was 18-19. He was probably one of the reasons that they didn't finish in the bottom half of the table.
Okay.
And I think for 3.2 million, you can't go wrong with someone like that. Because he's got plenty to give.
Yeah. So you're giving it a 9.5.
A 9.5.
Love the signing. He's on a deal until 2025, I think. The only thing is, if he plays really, really poorly and they can't get rid of him. But I don't think that's going to happen, so I'm not taking into account too much. I'm going 9.
Okay.
I like the signing, I do. I'm just not going to give it any higher because, I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel a little bit uneasy about going any higher.
Fair enough.
It's a bargain price. 30 is a good age for a keeper, in his prime as a keeper. How good's he going to be after sitting on the Arsenal bench for a year?
We'll have to see.
We will. I like the signing though, I do. The next one I don't like. Marcus Tavernier. He's English, he's 23. He's gone from Middlesbrough to Bournemouth for £10.7 million. I don't like this, and I don't know why.
Nope. I think it's too much for a championship player.
And he is a championship player.
I don't think he's any better than that.
No. He's a good championship player, but he's not a Premier League quality player, I don't think. No. You can clip this up and send it to me at the end of the year if you want, but I don't think he's Premier League standard. I'm going 5 just because he's young and they might get relegated and he'll be good in the championship.
Yeah. I'd give it a 5.5.
5.5, okay, fair enough. And then the last one that we've got to rate, Mangala. Oro Mangala has gone from Stuttgart to Nottingham Forest. He's Belgian, he's 24, and he's gone for £11.7 million.
Well, the signing is good. This is getting to the point where it's too much for Forest.
Agreed. I think we'll touch on that in just a second. We'll talk about Mangala first, and then we will move on to talk about Forest. I think he's a very good signing. However, he doesn't start.
You not think so?
No. Who does he start in front? If he starts in front of Yates, then they're
probably... He won't start in front of Yates.
That Lingard, and then have they brought in another midfielder? O'Brien.
O'Brien. Oh yeah, of course.
He doesn't start.
He doesn't.
He's the backup for Yates, and 11.7 million for a club that could get relegated. I'm not saying they will, but could. It's a backup when you've got Jack Colback who could do that. I know he's not Premier League quality. I know if you were to get an injury to Yates, then he could be in trouble. But you need to keep some of that squad together.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm going 6 because he is young and he is a good player.
I'm saying I'd probably say that as well, but I don't know anything about Mangala. All I know is he's a centre mid. I don't know what he's good at. What he's good at.
Okay, fair enough.